Alright, so hey everybody, Bloodmoon Bobby here. So I know I apologize that I can't stream WarioWare today because unfortunately, as I was getting ready, I found out that my Switch dock is having problems, so I'm gonna have to replace it. So since I still wanted to play a game today, I thought I'd play a game that I've been actually spending a lot of time with, Excite Truck, so it's gonna be awesome. So yeah, let's do it. This is my favorite of the original Wii's launch titles. Funny story about this game. This was actually one of those games my mom really didn't want me to play. Like, there were two games when I was a kid, two types of games when I was younger that she did not want me to play. They were shooters and racing games. Racing games because she was worried like the music would be like way too intense for me. But this ended up being like my favorite. Racing games are one of my favorite genres of games. I really like playing Nintendo's Excite games or Namco's Ridge Racer, games like that. As some of you may know, I'm kind of a car fanatic outside of Twitch. I really like to collect toy cars, especially I really enjoy JDM or Japanese cars, like especially sports and luxury cars. So, yeah, so without further ado, let's get into it. I think I'll actually start off with like the platinums because I finally unlocked the Super Excite level, which I think we'll have time to get to later. But to start off, I want to actually play the platinum stages again. And if you've played this game yourself, please let me know. So I always tend to do best when I play, even though this game is called Excite Truck, with actually one of the SUVs, the Razor. Completely, yeah. I guess it's one of those truck-based SUVs, like how in the real world there are truck-based SUVs like the Lexus LX or the Toyota Land Cruiser. So, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I spent a lot of time trying to get the S grade in this course. What I learned is that, you know, I really shouldn't be... And that was not a good start, but yeah. I really try to limit how much I use the turbocharger, because if you overuse it, it could actually cause your engine to overheat. So, yeah, crashing and burning not off to a really good start. But, you know the saying, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So yeah, when I get up to this hill, that's when I'm going to start using more of the turbocharger. I don't know if I'm just having a really bad start today, but it's one of those things where not playing as well as I usually do. Is the POW. But let's see if I could do much better. Turbo jump. Break. Yeah. I guess after I started to do more real-world driving, I started to use the brakes more in these racing video games. Let's see if I can crash. Yes, I did it. Cool. It is really tempting to use the turbo. I'll admit, it's just the downside is if you overheat the engine, it slows down your car. I guess kind of like in real life. I've had experience with cars that overheated. Let's see if I can get this guy. Where's the finish line? Okay, so cool. Got the S grade. But yeah, if you've played this game yourself, let me know in the comments. I really think Excite Truck is really Nintendo's most underrated franchise. Mostly just because I don't really see people talk about it that much. Even something like Mother and Earthbound, there's still a very vocal community out there, but I don't really hear people talk about the Excite games as much. So, maybe I'll try the Dynamo this time in this color. I really like the soundtrack and the Scottish stages, by the way. Truck smash there. Yeah, if I did more of those kind of turbo jumps, then maybe I could actually get more of the rings. There are times I can get all 5, but most of the time, you know, I get the stars through other ways. Stars. Oh wow, they gave me 5 stars for 2, right? Yeah, I like this truck too. I know it looks kind of more like an ATV to me. But I guess they can't call this game Excite Truck SUVs and ATV-like vehicles now, can they? That doesn't sound very good. Brake. I love doing the truck smashes. It's probably, of all the tricks you can do in Excite Truck, that's probably my favorite thing to pull off. Oh yeah, this one has the really tricky hills. This part, you essentially have to use the turbo. I also do more drifting nowadays when I play this game. Super rings! Got super rings, that's awesome. You know, what the heck is happening with the 5th place truck? It's out of control. Just a brake there because I don't want to crash into the trees. Yeah, that's the thing. Even when people say, you know, oh, this game is crazy, you still have to think a lot if you want to really figure them out. Another super air, so that's awesome. Yeah, surprisingly, I'm able to pull off a lot of the super air and super rings tricks in this screen. Don't want to go too deep, because if you go too deep, you'll crash in the water. Drift there, follow the arrows, just like my cross-country days. Turbo jumps, crash. Yeah, when I think I'm gonna crash, that's when I just start hitting the 2 button like crazy, because, you know, you can do a nice boost so that you'll catch up. Overheated there. I think I could do another, have another go at the stage. Still getting a B, which is nice. But yeah, let's try it again. These days, I try to like do a truck smash on like the first a truck that I get close to, if you will. In real life, I'm I would say of my two favorite kinds of JDM cars are either luxury cars like Lexus or Acuras. I'm kind of surprised because I tend to be a very cautious driver in real life. I also do like sports cars too, like the Toyota GR Corolla, or the one I'm thinking about the most is the Subaru BRZ, mostly because my dad mentioned it as a possible future car. Not saying I'm going to get one anytime soon, even though I'd love to try out a BRZ. It's just with sports cars, I tend to be that kind of person that it's not that I'm looking for the fastest 0 to 60 or the biggest engine possible. I tend to wrong way there. I tend to be the kind of person that likes to make the most of like a car that has like a 4-cylinder or 6-cylinder engine. Funny enough, actually 2 weeks ago, my dad and I were coming home from Pasadena, and we saw a Toyota Supra on the freeway, the new one that they made with BMW. And my dad was not crazy about the design. I also think it's kind of a strange, like, over-designed looking car myself, but it's the kind of car where I'd still like to check it out. I heard it as like an inline 6 engine. I've never been in a inline 6 car myself, but I heard they're supposed to be really amazing. Overheated, but there's water, so yeah. So in this game, if you can go into like, water, it basically instantly cools your engine. So that's one time where I'm gonna use the turbocharger, since there isn't much consequence. Yeah, if I had one of those POW power-ups, I could probably destroy the truck that I just bumped into. Just landing all the arrows so that I could actually have a shot at winning this race. But I think in a way, Cars has sort of filled a similar kind of void that cross-country running used to, because I haven't really gone running since maybe my college days, but I still learned a lot of really incredible life lessons from sport. Yeah, so actually this time, didn't do quite as well. So, okay, I'll move on to the next course. But yeah, that's what I mean. It's interesting how, that, other vehicle that I raced previously, I seem to do my best in. Oh, nice! Cool, unlocked a new truck. I don't know, maybe I should try it out. So yeah, cool. Even though, so I can still unlock trucks in previous, when I go back to courses I already got in the S grade. Let's try this one, the Blaster. The name sort of reminds me of the Chevy Blazer, which is now a, I think nowadays the Blazer, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's now one of those unibody SUVs. It's now a grocery getter kind of SUV. I do use a little bit of turbo when I start, like, just to get going, because I notice if I just start with just the regular gas and no turbo, the car doesn't move, so I have to get it going. So I guess it's like trying to launch a car in first gear, I suppose. And correct me if I'm wrong, I really wish I could, have that experience. Landing, let's see if I can catch up. And I'm gonna crash, unfortunately. These go the wrong way. Let's get the power up where you can just smash through all the trees. Cacti. stars, which is awesome. Water, so let's take my time. I don't want to go too far off. There's still a race to win. I wonder if it's possible to like axe to get crushed by one of the rocks. Nice drift there. Use the turbo. Crash into a cacti there. See if I could. Yay! I did it. I actually got past it this time. I get super air. I got super air. And crashing. Of course, you could also use the POW for crashing for other trucks. Nice drift there. I'm kind of surprised how many opportunities there are to go around corners here, because I don't know. I mean, I'm not experienced with like truck racing, but like when I think of drifting cars, I'm thinking of like rear-wheel drive sport coupes. Like again something like a GR86 or a Super BRZ. I talk about the BRZ way too much in my personal life. Okay, so there's another corner. So again, you anticipate that you're gonna crash, just start mashing the 2 button like crazy, because that's what's gonna help you. But yeah, I did it. So yeah, the blaster's really cool. And I even did better than last time. And that's the weird thing. I tend to be like really inconsistent with how well I do in games, but it's something I'm learning to embrace. Okay. Maybe just to do something different, I'll do the mongoose. I haven't used this truck much. But yeah, if you still want me to do a stream of the GBA WarioWare game, let me know. Next week, I want to go back to doing a poll, so, there's a good chance I could be playing this game again next week. Maybe actually playing these Super Excite courses. I remember this one has some really tricky jumps. I'm kind of tempted not to get the, item that lets you do those jumps, because when I first played this course, I kept crashing. And yeah, I mean, okay, you won't get, as many, stars, but you'll get through the course, so... Jump. This time I don't really want to get the extra item, because, yeah. I mean, I've got for it before, after getting the item. Yeah, hello, General Spark. Yeah, I did talk... Yeah, I talk about this game a lot. I mean, but it's just like, what can I say? I just really like the Excite games from Nintendo. I do want to try Excite Bike 64 one of these days. I know that for the Wii there's also Excite Bots, but I don't know. I just think it's too weird for me. I mean, I'd have to try it myself because I've never played Excite Bots, but still, you know. If it is good, you know, let me know. I mean, because, you know, I'm always open to trying it. I don't want to get too critical of a game that, you know, I've never even tried. But if I were to play another Excite game, it would probably be Excite Bike 64, since you know, Excite Bike is one of my favorite NES, if not my favorite NES game. So yeah, but it is cool that, you know, I'm getting to play this today. And I got the item, so... Oh, hey, I did it! I got through that wall. Yeah, have you played this game before, General Spark? I could have gotten the power up, but you know, I don't want to take the risk that, you know, I could lose the race. Push up the corner there. I guess it just kind of shows, you know, why having a car with good handling matters a lot with corners like that. Maybe not just in video games, but of course in real life as well. It's probably why Subaru puts boxer engines in all their cars, because since the boxer engine is, like, you know, so low, it provides good handling. I played the NES one. I didn't realize they made others. Yeah, they have, so... Yeah, I mean, I feel like, yeah, the Excite series is one of the more underrated Nintendo franchises, mostly because usually the Excite games are launch titles. But, yeah, they've made the 2 Excite Bike games. They also made one for the Wii, and, you know, of course, I'm playing the Excite Truck now. So I hope if they do make another Excite game, maybe for a future Nintendo console, that they could, release or, you know, make it about, like, sports cars. I mentioned many times before, I think it would be really cool if Nintendo went to Bandai Namco and said, hey, let's make a game that combines the Excite series with Ridge Racer, because I could see them doing a thing where it's like a racing game where it's set in an urban environment like Ridge Racer, but with all the crazy tricks that you would see in, like, Excite Truck or Excite Bike. Don't crash in the tree! Unfortunately, that time I couldn't move my vehicle that well. I'm not gonna let the truck to pass by me. Again, I'm trying not to, like, you know, overuse my turbo, because I don't want to risk overheating the engine, because when you overheat the engine, that's what causes you to slow down. Rough up the that truck bed. Ooh, a pow! Power up. Love crashing through trees with the power up. Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, the developer of this game, Monster Games, I think they also worked on Mario Kart 7, since we were talking a bit about Mario Kart. But yeah, I think they're a really good partner for Nintendo. I hope they work with them even more in the future. Maybe not, I mean, not that they should acquire them, because they should be allowed to make games for whatever studio they want. But I just really think they make it work. Yeah, making progress. And that, there's times you could really use the early corner. What console am I playing this on? So I'm playing this through the backwards compatibility mode on my Wii U. Yeah, probably the best way to do streams of any Wii game, because, the Wii U has an HDMI port, the original Wii does not. So, therefore, it's easier to use capture cards on the Wii U compared to the Wii. Yeah, kind of a strange jump there. Do you have a Wii U, General Spark? It's interesting to me. I seem to come across people who either really like the original Wii, don't like the Wii U as much, and then there's people who really hate the original Wii but love the Wii U. So I don't know. Are there people out there who like both systems? Admittedly, I'm the kind of person that enjoys the original Wii. I don't hate the Wii U. It's just that I don't think it's as. I just tend to prefer Nintendo consoles like the DS and the Switch. Yes, I don't think it deserves the hate it gets. Mostly because I think there's games out there that. I mean, I think a lot of the criticism of the Wii is that a lot of people say too many of the games for the original Wii rely heavily on the motion controls. But there are also games that where the motion controls aren't like super gimmicky, and then there are ones that don't utilize motion controls all that much, like Super Smash Bros. Brawl or Mario Strikers Charge. I would put Samurai Warriors 3 in there, but it's more of a guilty pleasure game. I know there's people out there who don't like the Warriors games because they're very repetitive. I tend to like them just fine, just because I really like that sort of, repetitive mindlessness, if you will. Yeah. I think, for people who say the Warriors games are too repetitive, one game that I think does it better would probably be like Samurai Warriors Chronicles for the 3DS, because in that game you have to switch between like multiple generals. You're not just playing one character with the same weapon the whole time. You're also controlling multiple characters. So I think that was like a really good mix. And I think that Omega Force and Koei Tecmo should make more Warriors games, because I think that's a good sort of deviation from the Warriors formula. Instead of just playing one character for a long time and using the same weapon, that gets tiring after a while. But if you can switch between characters who do different tricks, then you're deviating from the formula in a really like good sort of way. Yeah, I mean, let's see if I can at least get second place. Okay. All right, we'll try the Super Excite courses. Yeah, I still yet to unlock the Platinum and Diamond courses. So let's start off with Mexico. And I'll do Blaster this time. Yeah, it's interesting how in my last several streams, I've been playing a lot of games using the Wii U. Um, even if the games themselves are not like made for the Wii U, but it's still a lot of fun to go back and play like the Super Mario Galaxy games, and of course, Side Truck. So next week. Well, it's gonna depend on when I can get a new Switch dock, of course. So maybe I could play a game using my Switch next week, but I'll put out a Twitter poll next Thursday, and by then I should know, okay, what games I know for sure that I could stream for next Saturday. But it's still a lot of fun playing this. I mean, I wouldn't mind, honestly, if I had to play this again next Saturday. I think that would be really awesome. So, I went in there because I thought I could get the POW item, but nope. That SUV in front of me kind of reminds me of an older Ford Bronco. I guess it's kind of like a good distraction, look at the SUV your convenience and try to find a real-world comparison. Because I'm sure a lot of these vehicles are inspired by real-life trucks and SUVs. There you go. So, yeah, not to plug in my Twitter, but that's where I put up polls asking people, hey, what game should I play this Saturday? For the last couple, I haven't, because there is a game in mind I really wanted to play, but we'll see. Or wait, when does the new Kirby or the remaster of Kirby's Return to Dreamland come out? Because if it comes out in time for next Saturday, then I'll play that. I am in Fiji. I really like the music in this course too. A good time to use the turbo would probably also be if I'm really close to a complete car. Because that would be a good opportunity to do a truck smash. For really narrow pathways like that bridge, that's also a good time. Or not a good time to use turbo. That time I did because there was a competing truck that I could smash up. Yeah, hills are also, as you can imagine, a good place to use turbo, and I overheat the engine. Truck smash. I don't think we can get the POW. Right there. They're going in the water, so it doesn't really matter. Nice drift. I think when it comes to real life or trucky SUVs, one of the ones that I've had a good time learning about lately are the International Harvester Scouts, which I'm pretty sure people who are my age have no idea what a Scout is, because I've grown up in at a time when I think of trucky SUVs, I'm thinking of Jeeps and Ford Broncos. And now Volkswagen or VW is trying to bring back the Scout as an electric SUV. And honestly, of all the up-and-coming electric car brands, the Scout is probably the one I'm most interested in. I'm concerned about if it's going to be reliable and all that, but I'm just happy Which I guess I'm happiest when VW does these kind of like retro comebacks. Like my favorite TV commercial from Volkswagen was when they brought back the Beetle in 1998. I'm still hoping the Beetle comes back as an electric car. Kind of an odd choice because at least in the U.S. everybody wants to buy an SUV, but I just really like the design of the Beetles. Even the 1998 one, which I know some people think is too cutesy and hard to take seriously, it's still the most unique car design I've ever seen. Like, that's why I have a ton of toy VW Beetles, because I think it has the most unique car design. It's just that unfortunately there's concerns it probably won't sell well because everybody wants a truck and SUV these days. And I tend to prefer smaller cars. Like, if there are two cars I'm considering right now, they would be the Subaru BRZ Coupe and the Honda Civic hatchback. Mako, named after the actor, you know, Uncle Iroh, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Let's try it out. The Mako. I still remember having like good times. You know, rest in peace, Mako. But I thought it was really cool. I think it's really cool, like when I watch TV shows or movies with my dad, when he can recognize, like, you know, an actor, like, you know, classical actor, and I get to learn, you know, more about like the kinds of like actors that, you know, he grew up watching. So when we watched Avatar, my dad, like, you know, basically instantly recognized, you know, Mako. So yeah, I think very legendary voice actor. I'm sad that he passed when, you know, Avatar was still like on the air. But that being said, I really enjoy Greg Baldwin as well. He's the actor who replaced Mako after he passed away. Yes, super air. Didn't get all the rings, but that's cool. Just get the pow. Yes. Break there. I mean, that the sign of a good sports car isn't just that it goes fast. You also need really good brakes as well, which, you know, makes sense since you're going at a faster rate than most cars. Here for a long time. Yeah, that was actually why when I was talking to my dad about cars and why he really likes, or he really is considering the Subaru BRZ, he said one of the factors is it has better brakes than the Honda Civic Si. And not to hate on the SI, I would try it out myself. It's also probably another good example of my kind of sports car. The only downside of the SI is you can't get an automatic transmission, so the rest of my family can't use it. If you want an automatic on your SI, you have to go to the Acura Integra, which of the two I would prefer anyway, just because I like the versatility of the Integra's hatchback, and it's kind of a more luxurious car in comparison, even, you know, if it doesn't have gins and leather seats. Right there, almost tipped over. Again, pow! Get past the overheating engine. This hill, because for very steep hills like these, you really should be using the turbocharger when you can. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get the S grade this time, but still probably gonna be an okay performance. Yeah, let's try it again. Yeah. So, if there was one truck I'd really like to see, well, actually two. There's two trucks that I would like to see make a comeback. One would be the Subaru Baja. Like, Subaru used to have a truck. And especially because, you know, these days there are companies who, you know, most people don't think about when it comes to trucks that are trying to make, like, smaller trucks with practical features, like the Honda Ridgeline. The newest contender is probably Hyundai with the Santa Cruz, so I'd really like to see Subaru make a comeback. It's just, I think the reason they didn't bring the Baja back is because in the US market, like, the American brands are very dominant. You know, like I'm thinking of Ram or, you know, Chevy or wrong way, right? For instance. But I think they could still, like, make a nice dent in the truck market if they brought it back. I was watching, a YouTuber I was watching mentioned how Toyota, they used to offer a truck called the Stout. And I think he was saying it could be a nice, like, competitor to the Honda Ridgeline or the Hyundai Santa Cruz. So that's another truck I'd like to see. Because when I think of trucks, I tend to prefer, like, you know, or I like to learn about the smaller trucks with, like, the practical features. That was why, you know, if I were to buy a truck today, it would probably be something like a Honda Ridgeline, because I really like how in the truck bed there's that hidden trunk, for instance, where you can store drinks. So, like, if you're, you know, going camping and you want to bring along sodas, you know, you could store them in the truck bed. But it's also cool seeing all the really cool ways of how the truck makers are finding very creative ways to get into the bed. Like, I like when truck makers, like, they build in those huge steps so you can get into them easier. As a very short guy myself, that's probably like a borderline necessity, but still. Even if I go, like, you know, off-roading in real life, I'd like to rent a truck-based SUV like a Toyota 4Runner. I heard even though it's, you know, getting to be an older SUV, people still love it because of how, like, reliable its 4-liter V6 is. Or maybe something like a Lexus LX. I think that would be a awesome choice too. Even though, yeah, the LX, it doesn't have the V8 anymore. I'm kind of curious to try its twin turbo V6. You know that Lexus lately has been replacing V8 engines with twin turbo V6. Even in like their flagship sedan, the LS 500, which the LS I would say is probably my favorite Japanese car to learn about. But what am I talking about here? I'm playing a racing game with trucks, not luxury sedans. Alright, so that's about as well as I can do for today. At least in this course, I'm still going to play, of course. So, let's try another one. The nice thing is that in order to unlock more courses in the Super Excite mode, you just have to get a B in them. You don't need the S grade yet, although I imagine that's going to come in handy later. Turn to Scotland. So, let's try the Dynamo again in orange. It's interesting to me how, like, you know, of course, driving in you know, real life, it's nothing like driving in a video game, even when you're using Wii motion controls, because you're doing different things with the steering wheel, and, you know, of course, there's, you know, you don't have you know, you're usually not using a brake or gas pedal in a video game like this. You're just using buttons. And, you know, speaking of driving in video games, there is in WarioWare Smooth Moves, there is this, one of the boss battles is a driving stage where you have to, like, drive this car. And I remember the first time I played it, I crashed the car and I was like, well, that's an omen. I'll never I'll never get to drive in real life. But, you know, of course, you know, driven in real life many times. Never got in an accident. There was one time, you know, I got pretty close to being in one, but I came out okay. Once again, getting the power up. Riding through the sky. Getting 5 stars, right? Yes, I got 5 star. Trying not to crash into trees. Sweet. Laps. Didn't get the power up this time, but I think okay. Maybe not. Trying to stop that truck from past me. Let's get second place, maybe even first. Let's see. I think I could try again. Still pretty incredible. Maybe I'll try this course again with a different vehicle after this. Almost got all the rings. Unfortunately, didn't get the PAL this time. That's okay. The general's part. You have been thrown. Oh, wow. Oh, no, I wasn't talking to you. The game was, you know. Oh, one last lap. That's cool. Maybe I do have a shot of getting. Back. But yeah, don't worry about a general spark. Like, I've also had like some wonky internet in the last week. It's better now, but yeah, I can understand. Get there before everybody else. Alright. I think I'll try this course again with a different vehicle. Okay, let's do it in the, do it in the Razor. Still around. Coming up the hill. Got the super tree run there. That's nice. Airs. Truck smash. Didn't get the POW item, but that's okay. Cool. Risk of overheating, but since POW block doesn't matter, or POW power up, like this is not Mario. Get to the finish line before everybody else. Yes, got the S grade. That's awesome. I like how the results spell out like Saab, like car company. A few more minutes in the stream. I think I have time to do at least one more course. So let's see. Maybe I could try another course again. Yeah. Yeah, let's do Canada again. Nice. Water there, so we can do that. But yeah, I tend to be a person that, admittedly, I think I could be like, easily impressed by a car, because I tend to be somebody that likes to hear about new, even if it's like more mainstream cars, like Toyota Camrys or Honda Civics. Mostly just because I think since they're gonna end up being like the most common kind of cars, you'll see even though sports cars are cool, like the R86s and NSXs, the one thing about those cars is they're not going to be the most mainstream. So I also like hearing about the newest sedans, like Hyundai Sonatas and that kind of stuff. And ultimately, what I care about the most is just, you know, the build quality and how functional they can be. I know there's people out there that are like, you know, ooh, it's nice to have this premium features, but ultimately, I'm thinking, when I think about like those kind of mainstream cars, what I prioritize the most when looking at them is the build quality above all else. Because, you know, if I wanted luxury features, I would consider like a Lexus or Acura or even Genesis. Yeah, that was actually a really good time to use the brake. But yeah, it's definitely, yeah, I do like playing this game. It's a lot of fun, and I'm gonna crash into a tree. Well, no, I didn't. Stuck in place, see if I can catch up. Power up. Go through some trees, get through the arch. Alright, so get through the finish line. Alright, so I think I'll end things for today. So like I said, I apologize again that I wasn't able to play WarioWare. I know I promised it on TikTok earlier today, but due to technical difficulties with my Switch dock, I couldn't do it. So, but regardless, I hope you had a good time watching me play Excite Truck. So next week, I think I'll be going back to doing my Twitter poll where I ask people, you know, hey, what game should I play today? So if you want to, you know, participate in the poll, please follow me on Twitter. It's the same name as my Twitch channel, Blood Moon Bobby. So, yeah. So until next time, if you enjoyed the stream, please follow me on Twitch. This has been Blood Moon Bobby, and thank you all for watching.